Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me what's your point of view? It is your view. Point of view. Point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into What's Your Point of View. I am your host, Amanda Johnson, and I am here on set with an amazing group of people. We are here with the director and the actors of A Sense of Purpose, Fighting for Our Lives, and I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves.
Hello, I am Jillian Bullock. I am the writer, director, producer of A Sense of Purpose, Fighting for Our Lives.
Hi, my name is Tamara Woods, and I am the leading actress playing Sergeant Diane Torres.
Hi, my name is John Quinlan. I'm the lead male actor. I play Captain Jake Nixon.
Hi, my name is Lamont Fountain. I'm the director, photography, editor, and producer.
Thank you all for introducing yourselves. We're going to jump right into the meat of this movie. Give us a little bit of details about, just a little bit, because you got to go to the website, check out the additional information, but just the heart of the story.
Well, the story is about a woman, Diane Torres here, played by Tamara, and she's an Army medic, and she was sexually assaulted by her commanding officer. John plays Captain Nixon, and as a result, she becomes pregnant as a result of the rape. And she gets discharged, and of course she develops PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from having to deal with the sexual assault and the fact that she's pregnant, and she doesn't know how she wants to deal with that situation.
Well, that's definitely a good segue to ask, how did you prepare for this role?
Well, with anything that I receive, I always prepare with prayer, and because it's a major issue dealing with MST and PTSD, and I really didn't have a whole lot of information on MST, I had to rely on life experiences and also my training and techniques that I acquired over the years, learning through acting classes, and that's how I prepared.
How did you prepare, John?
Well, I always tell people the same thing. The character is really 180-degree difference from my real self. I have to credit Jillian, put together such an amazing script, which made it a lot easier to follow. Tamara was excellent to work with as a co-star. His combination of PTSD and the fact that he was molested when he was 10 made it really challenging to make this character real. But I immersed myself in the role the best I could. Reviews were good, and like I said, the director and my co-star were amazing. So that's how I prepared for it with that and a lot of the help along the way. Yeah.
So with filming it, when you had your storyboard, the different scenes, how did you, as you know, filming, how do you prepare for those scenes?
Most of the scenes we only did storyboards for about maybe 2 scenes. One of the scenes was the bar scene where there was a lot of extras and there was a lot of action in that scene, so we storyboarded that. But most of the scenes we went over the script, and I discussed my ideas with Jillian, and she discussed her ideas with me, and we basically just went off of the ideas without the storyboards for most of the film.
So how was it working with Miss Jillian? Because we know that, you know, directors and videographers can bump heads a little bit.
Yeah. Jillian is awesome. I mean, she has a laser focus, and she knows what she wants, and that's actually good, you know, for a cinematographer. It's, you know, because you know, if you're working with a director that doesn't know what they want, then you have to kind of take up the slack, and you have to bring ideas that may not be welcome, type thing. So, you know, Jillian is awesome. Like I said, she knows what she wants, and she gave me a lot of freedom too to bring ideas. Like, well, how about when certain parts of the script that I read, I had ideas immediately. And I was like, well, why don't we shoot it like this? And she was like, yeah, I like that. So we worked together pretty good, you know.
That's great, especially when you can find your flow,
Hmm.
because you can't be creative in the midst of chaos.
Right.
Even though filming is still tense, but you still got to have that flow.
Absolutely.
So, is this movie based on a specific person?
It's inspired by true events. When doing my research, it took me about a year and a half to do research. I interviewed quite a few veterans, and I had to get them to trust me. And it helped that I was a veteran myself, and they could relax and say, okay, she can understand probably what I'm going through. And then, yeah, it's a culmination of a lot of people, and I wanted to tell their story the best I could and tell their truth and let people understand what it's like to deal with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah. Now, as far as post-traumatic stress disorder, did you guys have to do a lot of research, or has anybody had any experience in their families with this?
Well, of course, as a writer, I had to do extensive research because, again, it had to be true to the story of the veterans, and I wanted to honor them. So, yeah, much research. So, of course, as a writer, I had to do that. And plus, to be able to get my actors to bring it to the view the way I wanted it, to make it believable, I had to get them to understand what it could be like. And actually, we have a person in the movie, Mike Beeson, who is an Army veteran who does have post-traumatic stress disorder because he was sexually assaulted in the military. He was kind enough to share his story, be in the movie. He works with opposite John in the movie, and they did a wonderful job. And it's kind of like sharing his story. It was very powerful, very heartbreaking at the same time, because I could see that he was trying to work through it as he was saying it, and that's very difficult.
So did you have to, when everything you did was research, did you had to speak with anybody personally to prepare for your character?
Well, as I prepared for the role, as I said before, I had to rely on life experiences and not to go too deep, but I do know someone who had PTSD. They're no longer with us, but it's definitely something that we have to bring awareness about, because usually when you have a loved one that's dealing with that, you feel sorry for that person, and you kind of really don't know what to do. And because you're not sure if they're going to lash out because they're reliving those horrific events, you don't know if you should leave them alone or try to make them feel better by sympathizing with them. And with this family member, unfortunately, they kind of isolated themselves from the family, and they will always stay in their room. So I kind of used some of that, and then I did some research online, just reading about the symptoms and things like that. So that's what kind of helped me get into the character mentally for the role.
As I said before, the Nixon character is a very complex character. He's an extremely complex character, a multi-dimensional guy. As far as the research goes, I was lucky to have Jillian to talk to me a lot about the stuff that she researched and learned. Also talking with Mike Beeson. Mike was great. He shared a lot of personal stuff with me that really gave me an insight on how these guys really think and feel. And also just, like I said, basic research. But yeah, again, I want to thank Mike personally, because he really opened up a lot and really showed me how these guys are. And that made our scene a lot better too. Yeah.
I didn't necessarily do any focused research for this type of film. I always loved military films, and so I like just reading the script. I had ideas immediately, but I mean, the film and the story itself was near to my heart because my father has PTSD. He's a 100% disabled military veteran, Vietnam veteran. So I have like firsthand experience with PTSD. Like when I was 5 and 6 years old, like my dad would have flashbacks and stuff like that, and so that I had that to inspire a lot of the edits and stuff like that.
So we are going to be right back right after this.
In the last 2 months, I've lost 7 veterans suffering from PTSD. 3 men, 4 women.
I'm sorry. The pain you're going through.
They're the ones in pain. Each day, 22 veterans commit suicide. And I pray to God to help me help them. But I get so exhausted at times. I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to save them. She was calling out for help because she was in so much pain. And that's where we come in. We have to be there for her.
Everyone's got a story with memories that could tear us down. But we each have to hold our own in this battleground.
I want a discharge.
What I know is that I won't be beaten. I will not
I miss Mom
drown.
so much, Dad.
No, I'll fight till I know I'm home bound.
Angela?
So I'm asking you to stay with me until the morning comes.
I don't think I can do this. It's too painful.
Cause it's only then that I'll be down.
I was raped by my commanding officer.
How could you do something so cowardly?
Things just got out of hand. I was drunk.
Hey, ladies.
I saw what you did to her.
Welcome back. Now we are going to talk about some scenes. I know I've seen a couple scenes, especially when she was running through them woods. Like, run, girl. You better run, girl. Then he shut up like, no, keep running. So I was definitely yelling at the screen and a couple times, but she was running. I was like, I know you tired. You just got to be tired. I'm going to breathe for you. Just keep running. Think about a scene that I want something funny that you could think about, even if it was a serious scene, and share that with us.
One of the scenes was in the movie I played Captain Nixon's wife. I played Jessica's wife. So it was a scene that he took some pills because he was trying to kill himself, and I had to come in and find him, do CPR. I'm crying and everything. But the thing is that we all were joking that I wanted to do the Viola Davis cry. I was trying to do the face. I was trying to do the face and the snot and all, because you win Oscars. You win Oscars when you do that.
Not make you win Oscars.
I said I got the channel. Yeah, right. So I was trying to work it out. I didn't quite get it, but I was trying to work it out. And to me, do you think I did awesome?
Yes,
you think I did awesome? So I was trying to work it out to be Viola Davis, so I could sit next to her at the Oscars. I got that from you, girl. I got that from you, girl. Okay.
I want to give a shout
I was
out
looking
to
at
Viola Davis.
Davis, Oscar winner, Emmy winner, Tony winner.
You couldn't take your eyes off her. You doing
Right.
like this the whole time?
Yeah, you're like, oh, wait a minute. So that's mine. That's mine.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so you touched on the scene running, right? So to add to my repertoire of acting list, right, I always wanted to play the abusive wife or the abuser. So I got 2 in 1 in this film. So as I was running in 105 degrees weather, I was 5 months pregnant. Yes, and on the other side, I was by myself because I had to run all the way around to get to them. So to prep me to run as hard as I was pretending the dogs was after me back in the day. So I was running, and I would get around, and I was tired, and he wasn't even filming. Lamont was not filming. Yes, he did not catch it. I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, Lamont, that probably was the best one because I was running. But no, that was funny. But when I would run back around, then I would talk to the baby like, it's all right, baby, it's all right. We're gonna have to do it again. We're gonna have to do it again. But yeah, so that was one of my fun moments. And then the bar scene where I had to fight the guy that was trying to talk to me. Oh gosh, that choreography by Jillian Bullock, that stunt choreography was good. Yes. Oh my gosh, it was so good, and I got into it that I actually really did hit him. Yeah. But he was all right. He was all right though. But
he was a stunt though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's good then.
And Brother Blaze. Right. And Brother Blaze. Yes, they both got hit. Yes. So they were my both good scenes that I liked.
Did you want to hit him for not taping?
These guys were all like my family. They were excellent. There was so many great fun times on the set. I was blessed to share so many. I would say the scene with Mike Pleasant. Mike was a reporter, and Lamont was involved. And Mike really brought the heat. To the point of he was really getting in my face, and he was getting me aggravated, which made the scene even better because it was legit. So Mike gets in my face. He's pushing me. He's bumping me and pushing me. And I was supposed to crack Mike in the face. So at this point, I said, I can't wait to bring the heat. So bang, I think I knocked two of Mike's teeth out. So Mike hit the floor, and Mike's holding his face. I'm like, oh my God, I think I really broke his jaw. And Mike's sitting there he goes, did you get that? And this guy goes, yep, I got it. He's like, do I get credit for that? She goes, no, you don't. Get back to work. But there was so many great scenes. These guys are awesome, and it was a great experience. I was truly blessed.
You on the ground like, okay, just tell me you got it. My lip is bleeding, but just tell me you got it. It will feel a lot better if you tell me you got it.
Exactly. Anybody see an eyeball?
Oh man, I think every day on the set we were cracking up. Like every day, it was something funny happening, and it was it was really, even in the intense scenes, we kept it lighthearted. Like soon as Jillian yelled cut, it was somebody cracking a joke. So, but Tamara, that scene, I don't think, it wasn't that I wasn't recording. What had happened was, the gimbal was doing its own thing. I was like, that scene, we got to do it over. Yeah, it wasn't working. So
you thought she was just Bambi bouncing through the woods. She's like, oh.
Yeah, the gimbal was like recording her feet, and I'm like, I was trying to hold it. But yeah, it's one of those, technology. I blame it on technology.
It was the gimbal's fault.
Yeah, it's the gimbal. But
So when you, just from a director's point of view, when you were preparing your writing, when you were doing your writing, and you were thinking about the scenes, do you think about the scenes when you're writing or after you're writing, after the writing is done?
What do you mean by think about the scenes?
So if you're thinking about her running from him, do you automatically put them in the woods, or do you put them in a parking lot? Do you automatically position them in the woods while you're writing, or do you add those where the scenes will be later?
The thing is, when you do writing, you write it one way, but because you're independent filmmakers, it may not always go the way you want. So you see plenty of rewrites. While you're, even on the set, you're rewriting a lot of things. But usually I have the script written first, and I visualize it. I have to be able to close my eyes and visually see it first. And then I can say, okay, this works, so this doesn't work, and then I make the changes. So yeah, I have to see it first, and then I put it on paper, and then after that, I might have to, like I said, do some revisions on it. Yeah.
Do we have any other writers in the group?
No.
All actors?
Actors, producers, yeah.
So talk to us about, when did you start writing?
writing
Did
this.
you know that you wanted to be a writer?
When I was young, I was like 6 or 7. I started writing. Actually, my stepfather, who was in the Italian mafia, got me into writing. I know that sounds weird, but he got me into
That
writing.
was some good writing.
Yeah. And usually I would write stories about mobsters because that's all I knew. And then my stepfather would say, "You can't show that to anybody."
You're like, "Oh, this is good." Write again.
Yeah. So that's how I got started, and he got me into filmmaking. Every Sunday we would go to see a movie, and he's like, "One day you're going to be a filmmaker," and he just instilled that in me since I was a little girl. So from there, that's what happened.
All right. Well, we are actually going to take another break, and then we are actually going to find out a little bit more about the other actors and actresses. We'll be right back.
It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of
Welcome back. Now we're going to find out who our actors and actresses are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you know my name. I'm Tamara Woods. I am a wife, a mother, a volunteer, an actress, and a teaching artist. I got into acting when I was a baby, because my mom actually put my photo in Hollywood Spotlight magazine. So I think it was something there when she did that. So several years later, I took to performing when I was about 4 or 5 years old. And then from there, it was just always a desire in my heart to do storytelling. And with that, I come from being in the movie A Sense of Purpose, Fighting for Our Lives. This deals with military veterans. I come from a long line of military veterans in my family. All my uncles served in every branch. My dad, and I also have a brother that's still serving in the Navy. I think he's going to do the whole 20 out, and he's doing really good. So I always wanted to join the military. That was something I always wanted to do. And actually, when I think about it, I think I'm the only female who actually joined the armed forces in my family. So I started out in the Army, and then I transferred over to the Air Force, and I went all the way up to a staff sergeant. I served about close to 8 years. I was an information manager, and I dealt with all the information within my unit, from top secret, classified, to even training military veterans to make sure that they were up on their training before they deployed overseas. We also did awards and decorations, because we always wanted to honor our veterans and let them know that they're doing a good job, to give them that pat on the back, to keep them going. And also, I think my last duty station was Operation Enduring Iraqi Freedom. So I actually got to go over in the desert. I was supposed to have deployed to Iraq. In the midst of deploying, I actually got rerouted to go to Kuwait. For some reason, I say that was God. It wasn't some reason. That was God that did that. And I stayed in touch with the other team that actually went to Iraq. And the young lady, her experiences was definitely something I don't know if I could be able to handle what she went through. But that's a whole different story for another day. But yeah, so that's me in a nutshell, how I started acting and my experience being in the military. Overall, it was good. With anything, you have your pros and your cons and everything, but I enjoyed myself in the military.
So now I'm gonna have to look at the clips again and be like, wait a minute, is that military training that I see, or is that acting? Let me see. But congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk to us, John.
Okay, guys, my name is John Quinlan. Like I said, I play Captain Jake Nixon. I come pretty much from the world of fitness and modeling for many years. I was a 2-time featured fashion model in Italy. I pretty much connected with Jill through fitness about 5 years ago. We established a real nice connection, and when she started writing the film, she said, "I think you'd be, a decent fit for this Captain Nixon guy." So I auditioned, and I did pretty well, and I really immersed the role. My feedback's been really good. My reviews have been really great, as my first real big acting role. And I'm very humbled by the feedback I've gotten from many people in the industry. Like I said, I couldn't ask for a better crew to work with, And I think too, as an actor, you have to have some level of discipline. Like I said, coming from the world of fitness and modeling, it was a very disciplined type structured life. And I think that definitely helped me in the world of acting to be very structured with the so many demands that are in front of you in this business. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's my bio.
Now, do you do any personal training?
Yeah, I've been a personal trainer for a number of years, and fitness has always been a passion for me. I think it's the one outlet that I've used to keep myself out of trouble, and I think it really kind of just helped me on the way of all the modeling things and open a door to acting. I think if I didn't have fitness, I never would have connected with Jill the way I did, and this role wouldn't have come to me. So, like I said, I'm very humbled by all the kind words people in the industry have had for me as the first real, as I say, breakout role. I'm truly humbled.
Okay. So now when you're doing your fitness training and you got to change the way you say, drop and give me 20. You got to say it in your military voice.
I don't want to scare anybody. Like I scared this one. But I really am. I really am honestly, truly humbled, and I'm blessed right now to be working with an actor in Philadelphia, Christopher Mann. I can't say enough great things about Chris. Amazing actor, kind of mentoring me right now, and we talk all the time. And it's pretty much the two key things we always say is be professional and remain humble, always. And I'm always true to that. I always remain humble. And I'm very appreciative of those who have helped me. Seriously.
Okay. So Lamont, how did you get into filming?
I got into filming about 10 years ago. I had this real interest in doing a documentary about religious cults, and so I did a lot of research. I never finished it, but I did a lot of work on it. I filmed a lot of interviews, and I did a lot of research, and I just went deep into it, and I from that time, I've learned a lot of editing techniques and shooting techniques and stuff like that. So, I went from there to doing music videos and corporate videos. I worked for a startup fertilizer company, and I did all of their corporate videos and promo videos and stuff like that, even graphic arts and all.
All right. If someone wanted to get in contact with you, how could they get in contact with you?
I'm on Facebook, Lamont Managan, Managan, Fountain. I'm on Twitter, Jedi _DP, something like that, at something. or you can just search Lamont Fountain. Yeah. And I'm on Instagram as Managan, Managan.
Social media, I'm on all social media, Twitter, my website. The Twitter is at John J. Quinlan. The website is johnjquinlan.com. There's multiple fan sites, Facebook pages. Just look me up. I'm sure you'll see something good.
So you can find me at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at the Tamara Woods. Tamara, Tamara Woods.
If someone wanted to get in contact with the director.
Don't contact me, people. Don't contact me. No, just kidding.
Don't call me. We'll call you. But if someone wanted to get more information about the movie,
senseofpurposemovie.com. They can go there and look at all the different information, the trailer, the pictures, everything is on there, the synopsis. Getting a hold of me, just go to Sense of Purpose Movie, and that's the best way to get a hold of me. Yeah, so.
Well, I thank you all for your time. This has been a great experience, fun, laughing. I was like, wait till I go back. I'm going to look at this movie in a different light now. See if that's some military kicking in, or if that's some fitness training kicking in.
Not really so bad now.
Listen, he's a good guy. I'm going to tell you that now. He's a good guy.
You didn't work with him on the set like me. See my eye twitching? 5 years of this.
5 years. Listen to you.
What? 5 years?
5 years. 5 long years.
Where did all my hair go? 5 years.
Well, thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time on What's Your Point of View?
Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me. What's your point of view? It is your view. Point of view. Point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from